Hello everyone, it's Milky Cat here, and welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to get a little bit more consistent with my uploads, so if you're seeing this video, I know, double uploads in 1 week. A round of applause for me. Anyways, before I start this video, I do want to preface this video isn't to bully anybody. I actually followed this content creator for a very long time. I'm just giving my opinions on this situation and this issue, so don't send any hate or any harassment towards this creator. But today we're going to be talking about Dominique, aka CafeLee, on TikTok. As I said before, I used to follow her because I really liked her TikToks. I found them very wholesome. She did lots of lip syncing videos, I believe, like cosplays and stuff like that. Just relatively wholesome content. But it's recently come to my attention that she wrote a very NSFW book that deals with the topic of age play. And when I say deal with, I mean full-on sexualizing it. But before we get into that, let's talk about who Dominique is. As I said before, she makes content on TikTok. You've probably seen her across your For You page once or twice. I believe she's 28 years old because in one of her TikToks from 2022, she said that she just turned 25 that year and it's 2025 now. So that would have been 3 years ago. So she would be like 28 years old, around that age range. I don't really know specifically, but like there's been some things that she's done that have really rubbed me the wrong way. In a few clips of her that I've seen on TikTok, she'd like be yelling at her mom in like this really whiny childlike way, which really reminded me of how Tofia talks to her mother and her father. It just really irks me when grown women talk to their parents in an extremely disrespectful and childlike way. I'll insert a clip of what I'm talking about using Tofia as an example and CafeLee as an example.
Papachu calls out Tofuba for being lazy and she starts crying.
And it's not your fault. You can't do everything. She sit on her ass, talk to those people.
What do you mean I sit down? You're complaining to me about Donald stuff? That's not mine. Yes, you did. I'm irritated. Like, I'm really irritated.
I know, Grandma. Just put it on the floor. I think it's a big deal. About it being on the table. Put it on the floor. No. What is the big deal about me having that stuff on the table? What is the big deal, Grandma? You don't even eat at that table. You don't even eat at that table. You don't even eat at that table.
Also in CafeLee's live, her mother was yelling at her for leaving used pads out.
You take those pad things and put them in garbage, girl. Okay, Mom. Those pad things and put them in garbage, girl.
Which is just honestly one of the grossest things one can do. In my personal opinion, using out a used pad is like leaving out a used shitty diaper. It's disgusting. In another live clip where she was doing a karaoke night, she was being kind of rude to her fans.
Can everyone stop commenting, sing it? I have to hear the fuck. Okay, that's gonna make me want to stop doing karaoke tonight. Can y'all stop telling me to sing it? I get it. Can y'all stop? You can't be judgmental.
People were complaining at her in the chat for not actually singing the songs that they requested, and mind you, these people paid to request a song for CafeLee to sing. I believe it was $1, so they have a right to get mad if you're just not putting any effort into singing. Like, people are literally sending you $1 to sing this song. The least that you can do is actually sing the song right. But anyway, she was just getting really mad and really pissy. She gets really defensive, and it's just like, bruh, these are songs that people literally paid you to sing. All you have to do is just sing the song and not half-ass it, but instead you just complain about it. They have a right to get mad at you. And as I said before, this video isn't to bully her or bring her down or anything like that. I'm just giving my personal opinion and my personal critiques. But with that being said, let's get into the real nitty-gritty and meat and potatoes of this video. So basically, people found out that CafeLee wrote this smut book, which if you don't know what smut is, it's basically an NSFW book or fan fiction, whatever. And you know, there's nothing really wrong with that. Write whatever you want to write, you're a grown woman. But what I have a problem with is that you wrote a femboy age play smut book where you reference the femboy's genitalia as young. I believe that she deleted the book ever since she got backlash for it, but if I can find an archive for it, I'll put it across the screen. I'll also show a clip of somebody from TikTok reading said book.
I'm going to be reading a couple of lines that look like Kai is age regressed. Like, it looks like she's age regressed. There's nothing going on. I'm gonna read it. I gently woke Kai up, and we made our way to the kitchen, where I cooked his favorite meal, chicken nuggets, and I poured myself a glass of wine. But when Kai asked for some, I firmly said no, which kids can't drink wine. He's regressed, remember? Seeing the disappointment on his face, I quickly offered him apple juice instead. He happily accepted, and we sat down at the table to eat. As expected, Kai refused to eat his broccoli. A lot of kids refuse to eat their vegetables, you know? Kai, you know you have to eat your vegetables, I reminded him, hoping to avoid a tantrum. Kid-like, right? But I hate broccoli, he pouted. In a moment of inspiration, I offered a compromise. How about this? If you eat your broccoli, we can watch your favorite movie, Zootopia. Really? He asked. Yes, but only if you eat your broccoli, I replied, smiling at his eagerness. Without further protest, Kai picked up his fork and happily finished his vegetables. And just like that, we had a peaceful dinner and a fun movie night. You see, Kai is portrayed as a child. He's regressed. Nothing is wrong with age regression. But when you read this, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. Now I'm gonna read this. An hour in the show, I heard Kai's footsteps again. Mommy, he said, standing in the doorway with his stuffed animal. I can't sleep. Can I lay next to you? He asked, voice full of innocence and hope. Without hesitation, I made room for him on the couch and wrapped my arms around him as we watched the show together. My light went out. Then it gets weird. It gets very weird to this point. I guide to his young Shen, which responds eagerly to my touch. His eyes widen, but he doesn't pull away. Instead, letting a small whimper of pleasure as I began to him gently. But the water acting as natural. His hands come up to my breasts. His touch surprising. Sure, for one so young!
Honestly, like, whatever you're into behind closed doors is whatever you're into. Don't expect to get on the internet and post about age play without people judging you or finding it weird. Because it is, like, you're literally in a sexual situation where somebody is pretending to be a child. Like, yeah, that's pretty weird. And you went out of the way to make a whole book about it. But you also got on live and said that age play was disgusting, but in the same breath, you wrote a book about it.
I don't have any books. I look like what? Can I find your books at Barnes & Noble? No, because like I said, I don't have any books in store. You can't find them in Barnes & Noble. Well, I wish. But no. I don't know who that is, so how do I look like them? You wrote CP? No, I didn't! I'm just gonna end the live. I'm out. Cause now I got everyone claiming I wrote CP, and I take that very seriously. I take that very seriously. So I'm out. Yep, age play is when you role play with an individual and they act like a child. That's what age play is. Yeah. Get it? And age play mainly has to deal with birds and the bees.
And when you referenced the femboy's genitalia, you referenced it as young. Some people try to defend this saying, oh, it's just a mommy kink. But when you're calling somebody's private parts young, that really falls into the category of age play. Because, like, young, that was the word that you used to describe it. Like, and after people confronted you about it, you just took zero accountability. You just got really defensive like you always do. Dominique, this is literally age play. I thought you said it was disgusting, but at the same time, you're sitting here writing a book about a femboy and telling him to eat his broccoli. That's literally like textbook age play, Dominique. And it's just like, don't get on live being smart to your viewers about the whole situation, because like, it's literally what you did. It's literally what you wrote about. There's no reason to get defensive and be snarky about something that you did. She also lied in a live clip when people were confronting her about it, saying she doesn't have any books.
I don't have any books. It's like every day I'm getting hate on this app for something. That I'm getting hate for the way I look, my face, my teeth, my body size. Now I'm getting hate for my books. I was already getting hate for my books because people said they were ass.
Like, there's no need to lie about it. And when people continued to confront you about this book that you wrote, you got defensive and said that you were going to end the live. You have a habit of getting defensive when people call you out. It's like you just absolutely cannot take responsibility for your actions. All you did was deny the fact that you didn't write the book when you in fact did, and then continued to get smart about it. This actually really made me really upset because I really did like her videos. I thought that she was really wholesome, but obviously I was wrong. Overly freaked out. It really reminds me of when people caught Tofia watching Asian teen corn and she just like kept denying it when there were like literally screenshots of her tabs from her phone from when she was on live, and her only excuse was, oh, it's screenshotted, they're out to get me. Girl, you got caught watching inappropriate videos twice on live.
Hello everyone, this is Zara, and I'm here to talk about the CafeLee situation with Milky. This is my first time hearing about CafeLee, so my opinion may be a bit skewed against her, as I'm not a fan of the typical style of content she creates. Putting all that aside, CafeLee definitely seems to follow the trend of other TikTok lolcows like Tofia, where they expose themselves and their attraction towards younger people to their audiences. It's a very concerning problem that most, if not all, TikTok lolcows end up having, whether they target children with their content or not. The age play-centric story she wrote is genuinely disgusting to me, with how she repeatedly mentions how young the male is, and how she bribes him to eat vegetables with children's movies, then proceeds to whip him in an NSFW way. Personally, I don't care what kinks you may have, as long as they are non-predatory, and are kept either behind closed doors, or are only told to close friends/partners. But making these sort of things public and not expecting backlash from those who disagree with you is just naive. Her steadfast denial of even being involved with the book or age play in general, yet her being the author shows that she knows it's wrong, and she doesn't want to be associated with it because of the backlash it can and has already caused. She's recently returned to TikTok after a bit of a hiatus, so I hope that she continues to post her normal content and does better in her life, and learns the right lessons from this incident. Overall, this situation definitely isn't the worst thing to ever happen on TikTok, but Milky and I feel it's important enough to shed light on and inform people of. Now, please, don't go harass her. People have enough stuff to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like the video, subscribe to Milky, make sure you post any content ideas you may have in the comment section below, and I hope to see everyone later.
But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!